This month I was supposed to make a video about a saw and failed, but I did spend way too much money, so let's talk about that instead. So despite this being the first section from our podcast, I'm actually recording this the day after everything else, because I recorded my podcast in reverse for some reason, and I just ran out of time last night, so I'm going to be doing the rest of it now. To explain the saw thing, because I don't think I did, I don't remember. I bought a saw because I need it for a job, but I wanted to do a video setting it up and using it to make something. But I'll keep just getting distracted and not doing it. So that'll come eventually. I just don't know when. But yeah, so I bought a load of other stuff instead. I bought a load of new camera gear. In time for the video that I filmed, I bought a new overhead mount, a new tripod, and some extra little bits. But most of it I couldn't use at the time, because I also bought a new camera, and that hadn't arrived then, and that's here now. So I bought a Sony ZV-E10 II, because I wanted the original a while ago, and something happened where we couldn't afford to buy it at the time, and then we still can't really afford to buy this, but we managed to convince ourselves it was worth it, so we've bought this now. So I've not really had a chance to use it properly yet. I've taken a few pictures with it, and it looks really nice, like the quality's really good, but I've not used it for much yet. So we bought that, we bought another lens for it, we got a 17mm prime lens, I think it's f1.8, but I don't remember. I got like a little flash module, which I used once and then immediately took off because the flash was so bright that it completely blew out the picture. So I need to get used to using it a bit better first. And I was like indoors and we had the lighting fine, so I just didn't need to at the time, but it just amused me how bad the flash was. I got a cage, because I've always liked the look of them. And it does add a significant amount of weight. It feels a lot more sturdy now, but it adds a lot of weight to the camera, which I wasn't expecting it to feel as different after I put it on, but it does. I've got some new lighting. So I bought some like proper studio lights. We bought a stand for backdrops, but I'm not actually going to use it for a backdrop. I'm going to hang some like cloth over it to like dampen the sound a little bit in the room while I'm recording. What else did we get? I got an ND filter that doesn't fit either of my lenses, which is really annoying because I thought I'd bought the right size, and it turns out I just didn't. So we bought one reducer ring, but it turns out I actually need another one as well. So I don't know. I'll get it eventually, but I don't really want to at the moment. We got a new camera bag, a neck strap, and a wrist strap. I've always liked the wrist straps, but I like the neck strap when I'm carrying it and the wrist strap when I'm using it. But they're the same like company that make the both, and the way they work is like clips. So you attach the clips to the camera, and then the wristband has a clip, and the neck has a clip. So when you don't want them, you can just unclip them from each other. So it means I can just put the two clips on the camera, and then unclip the neck and clip on my wrist one, and then like swap between them when I want to. What else did we get? I'm just going to pull it up because I actually don't remember everything we got because we bought a lot of stuff in not much time. SD card, obviously. Oh, I bought a replacement head for my tripod. It doesn't quite work. It kind of does, but I don't know. I'm not super happy with it. I don't want to send it back because I have used it to get some shots that I like already, but at the same time, I'm not super happy with it. So it might just be a matter of I need to get used to using it better. Because one of the issues I've got is that with the camera on the new head, it tilts forward slightly. Like, it doesn't sit at 90, it sits at like 110, something like that. It just tilts slightly downwards, and it's really irritating. I think there is some way of me tightening that up so it won't do it, but I haven't looked into that yet. One more thing we bought is a thing that replaces the battery and just lets you run it off like AC power. So that'll be nice, because I can use that for recording, just like when I'm in my room now, a bit easier. Like, if I'm going out, yeah, I'll use the battery, but if I'm staying in the house, I can use this instead. We bought a lot of things, and we also had a lot of problems. We'll go with the least problematic one first. I bought a new face mask, but it's like a full face mask. So it has like a face shield as well as the like mask for my face. I bought that because I've got to do a load of concrete work downstairs in the basement eventually. I tried to buy it at first and it was out of stock, and it came back in stock, so we managed to pick it up. But I got the right size, but it's just a bit tight on my glasses. So I'm a bit worried about it, to be honest. Especially because I'm going to have to wear it for like a lot of time. There's just not really much I could do. They just don't really make face masks like these for people with glasses, and it's like, well, I need it. It seems like such a weird thing to not do. Then we got some glass plates that are supposed to cover your screen for the camera, and they're just not the right size. It says they are, but they're not. They cover enough of the screen that I'm not too worried about it, but it's just kind of irritating. One nice thing though is that they came with a little thing for your hot shoe, which adds a little spirit level on top, which I just think is kind of nice. So I'm just going to keep that on all the time pretty much when I'm not using the flash. Actually, that overhead arm that I've got, I'm not going to use it with the camera at all, because despite it saying that it should work with a camera, like a proper camera as opposed to I've used it so far with my phone, I've already had it collapse on me like twice. so I just don't trust it. But then we can get into the other problematic things. So I bought a fan for the camera, which is just supposed to keep it cool, and that just didn't get delivered. Don't know why, it just didn't. Then we had another package, which did turn up, and when it turned up, it was covered in motor oil, which had seeped through the packaging and completely destroyed what was inside. And the annoying thing about that was it was like a colour chart, so you like put that up to your camera when you start filming, and it lets you grade the colours better, more accurately once you go into the edit, which would be cool, except it is now covered in oil, so it's completely useless. And then I also bought a new monitor, a touchscreen monitor, and when that arrived, it was like clearly a scam. It had sticky tape all over it, it had an old return label still stuck to the box, the monitor itself was like dirty and like scratched, so we sent that back and managed to get the money back for that, and we got the money back for the fan, and we got the money back for the colour chart as well. But the issue is that I don't really want the money back for these things. I want replacements, because I want the things. And especially because we bought them on sale. So we got money back, which means we didn't spend money. But the replacements for the items are now more expensive. So I can't replace them. I can't afford to replace them anymore. The only nice one is that we chose not to buy the replacement for the fan in the end. But when we were sorting out the refund for that, the person did say that they would refund us the difference in price as well. So if we'd bought another one, they would have given us the price difference back. So that would have been nice. But we just didn't bother. Because I'm thinking it might not be a problem, but if it is, we can always get one later. And I can get a cheaper one, because I actually bought a more expensive one because it was on sale. So I can buy a cheaper one if I want to. But that's like all the stuff we bought for filming and everything. And then I got my wife some knives, because she does like craft stuff, and she wanted some new knives. She's still getting used to using them. I think she'll be okay. She doesn't like using them at the moment, but I think she just needs to get used to it. Because one of them's a rotary cutter, which is just like a circular blade. That one she's fine with, it just isn't really what she wanted. The other one's like a swivel knife, so it's a knife where the blade rotates. And I've used it a little bit, and it is a bit awkward, but you just have to get used to it. And she's just, like I said, just not used to it at the moment. So she's getting a bit stressed using it, but she'll be fine. We also got her one of those like wireless charging stands, just because she wanted one for on her desk. It's one of the ones that does like your AirPods and an iPhone and a watch, because she has all of those things. But then what I got for myself was, I got myself a Stream Deck Mini, because I kind of wanted one and it was on sale, and then they've added a thing in the software recently where you can have like virtual Stream Decks, and that interested me more than an actual physical Stream Deck. But you can only use that if you've got a physical Stream Deck, so I got the cheapest one that was available. I think I already would have rather had a bigger one, but a bigger one is obviously more money. So I've just got this one for now. I use it not as much as I could. For one thing, because at the moment it's doing a similar job to my Tartarus, which I've already got set up to do stuff, so I'm reverting to using that a lot. One of the reasons why I wanted this anyway is because I'm having a lot of trouble with my Razer stuff. Like when I turn my computer on, it takes about 20 minutes from turning my computer on to my Razer stuff being usable. So the Stream Deck is working like straight away. So I'm using that now to launch all my applications. I'm going to set it up to do other things. It's more just a matter of I need to spend the time to do it, and I've just actually been surprisingly busy recently. But then I'm also going to use that to set up doing the virtual Stream Deck, because one of the reasons why that interests me so much is because you can have it so that you'll press like a hotkey on your keyboard, and it'll give you like a little virtual one around your mouse, so you can just click little macros from there. And that really interests me, because I think that'll be really good for editing. It's similar to, if you've ever used it, the context menu that comes up in Blender. I think there's one in Maya as well. I think it's the same, but I've used Blender more recently, so I remember that better. Where like when you right click, a menu comes up with all your options, and it's just like that, but for basically any macro you want. So that really interests me. That was one of the main reasons why I was convinced to try this out. And then I also got myself a new tablet, because we bought an iPad and got Procreate on it last year with the intention of both of us using it. But my wife uses it so much that I literally in the last year have used it twice. So I don't know, I don't really draw that much anyway, but I couldn't use it for anything, obviously. So I got myself like a cheaper tablet, but it's made by, I can never pronounce the name, it's like Huon or something. But they make drawing tablets for computers, and then they just made a tablet as well. And one of the reasons why I don't like drawing on tablets is because the screens are so smooth, but this one already has a matte screen. It's got like an etched screen, and it actually feels a lot better to draw on. And it also comes with the pen, a load of the art stuff installed on it already, and it came with a drawing glove and replacement pen nibs and all sorts of stuff. And it was only like 200 quid. I don't know the specs. I just never bothered to look it up, because I also don't particularly care. But I've used it to draw a few things already, and I'm happy with what I've drawn. I'm liking getting back into it. And I've had no real problems with the tablet. Sometimes it might feel a little bit slow, but not enough for me to notice. I don't really play games on it. I've been kind of trying to get into Uma Musume, but I just don't really get it. I don't really understand. But I've been doing that on the tablet, and there's been no trouble with that. The sound is surprisingly nice. The camera's not great, but it's okay. But I also just quite like the physical design of the tablet. It just feels quite nice. And it comes with a case as well and everything. It came with everything I would have wanted to buy if I'd bought an iPad, and was like a third of the cost practically. So I'm really happy with it. I was talking to my wife about it yesterday. I'm like trying to get into a lot of things at the same time. Like I'm trying to get back into drawing. I'm trying to get back into photography and filming stuff with this new camera. Because I've never owned a camera. I used to borrow one, but I've never actually had one for myself. And then, like, I want to get into making music. Because I've said this before, but music is one of the few things that I don't really understand. What I mean is, like, if I want to draw something, I can see in my head what I want to draw. If I want to make a game, I can see in my head how I want it to play. If I want to make a video, I can see how I want the video to play out. I can see where I want the cuts. I can, like, understand the direction and everything. I can see, like, shot composition, like, stuff like that. But music just isn't in my head. In my head, there is music, but it is existing music. So I don't really get new stuff. And I feel weird about that. Like, it feels weird just having this whole, like, this, like, one thing that I just don't understand. There's so many, like, creative avenues I like, and I can see how they work. And then there's just this one that is, like, I don't get at all. Because, like I say, it's not a matter of I don't understand how people make music. It's not like I don't understand how a DAW works, or I don't understand, like, how you could just play music, or, like, what instruments are. It's not that sort of thing. It's not like a technical lack of understanding. It's literally just I do not hear music in my head in a way that is not things that already exist. All I hear in my head are songs that already exist. Like, I can play a song in my head, but I can't hear something new in my head. Whereas I can see new things in my head that I want to draw. I can see new games in my head. I can see new videos in my head. Like, it's just weird. And I'm wondering if maybe if I just put more effort into learning how to do stuff, that'll come easier. Or if this is just going to be a blind spot for me forever. But I don't know. I feel like I'm trying to do a lot at once, and I've also still got all of my other stuff to do as well. So I'm kind of enjoying it, but it is just a lot. I figure I'll talk about what games I've been playing again, because, I don't know, I just sort of stopped doing it for a while, and I figure I might as well actually do it again, seeing as that's mostly what I do. I've been playing Dungeons of Hinterberg still, because I'm recording that, but I'll talk about that a lot more in my channel update section, so I won't talk about that here. Still playing through Wilds. I was going to stop. What I've been doing is just like a single hunt, or like a couple of hunts each day, until I get all the weapons or armor pieces I'm looking for, and I was going to stop at the end of last month, but I didn't finish grinding out pieces by the time Lagiacrus and Seregios got released, so now I ended up doing those as well, and now that's just taking forever. Like, I'm still doing Seregios. I've got all the Lagiacrus stuff I wanted, but I'm still doing Seregios at the moment, and now there's going to be another update soon, so I'll probably end up playing for longer, but I don't know. I'm a bit bored of it. Like, it's fine. It's not great. It's okay. Still playing Final Fantasy, obviously. Not got a huge amount to do at the moment. I kind of fell off both of the relic grinds. Don't find either of them particularly interesting. It's just not my sort of thing. Like, to get the relic weapon, I still need so many, I don't remember what they are, like the crystal things you get from the Fates. I need so many of them, and I just don't care. It's so much grinding just to get one of them, and apparently you only have to do it once, but it's just not interesting. But the Moogles are on at the moment, so I'm at least enjoying that. And then there'll be the new patch in a week or two, so I'm looking forward to that. I played through all of Warhammer 40k Bolt Gun and its DLC, and I just didn't really enjoy it at all. They're so slow. Like, why are the levels so long? I think there's about 18 levels or something in the base game, and about 6 in the DLC, something like that. And the first 2 chapters, so the first 12 levels, are so unbearably slow. They're like half an hour a level, and that's even with sprinting through them. And it's just not enjoyable. They're just boring. They're not particularly interesting to traverse. The combat is fine, but I just feel like either there should be way more levels, but broken down way more, or the same number of levels, but just way quicker, because it's just not fun. They're just unbearably long. The third chapter of the base game, every level's about 10 minutes, and it's so much better. All of the enjoyment I had from that game came from just the last part of it. It's just like, I did like the first 2 levels, and I was like, oh, this is alright. And then I did the 3rd level, and I was like, I wish this was a bit quicker. And then there's 15 more levels. But yeah, so like, I finished that. I finally got some enjoyment out of the last chapter of it. And then you play the DLC, and the DLC is more like the first 2 chapters, where everything's really fucking long again. And it's just like, I bought that on the sale, but if I hadn't got it on the sale, I wouldn't think it was worth it, because it's just boring. Like, the levels are so long, and they're just so uninteresting. I don't really understand why people like it so much. I'm not huge into boomer shooters anyway, but it doesn't feel like the other boomer shooters I've played, because they tend to be a lot faster paced. Like, this is incredibly slow. I've recently started playing Power Wash Simulator, which I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. I was hoping to find it quite relaxing, and that's actually what I was expecting, but more often than not, I just find it kind of frustrating. The levels in that are also incredibly long, and the weird thing is that they get faster the further into the game you are, but that's purely because of the equipment you've got. But that means that when you've got the worst equipment, you're doing the longest levels, and that just makes it not fun. I can understand having bad equipment taking longer, but what I mean is that, like, you are doing the same scope of a level. So, like, the second level of the game is like an entire bungalow, but with bad equipment. So that level took me an hour and a half. No, I'm wrong. The second level of the game is a back garden, isn't it? But anyway, it took me like an hour and a half to do that. Like, the first level of the game is a van, which took me about 10 minutes. And then the second level of the game took me an hour and a half. And then the third level of the game took me about 5 minutes. And I just feel like when you're starting with the worst equipment, it should be paced in such a way where you're doing smaller jobs that take 20 minutes each, something like that. And then over time, you get better equipment and the scope of the levels gets bigger. But what actually happens is the scope of the levels just varies randomly, but the equipment quality starts terribly. So it just takes forever. And then there's also stuff like, you can highlight dirt, but it's not really actually that helpful. So I wish you could highlight, like, the piece of furniture or the particular stretch of wall that was dirty rather than just individual spots of dirt. Because especially when you're at the end of a big job and it goes, you have one windowsill you've missed. I don't know which of the windowsills it's going to be. And even if you wander around and highlight all of them, it still isn't always obvious which windowsill is actually dirty. So you'll just be left for ages wandering around, cleaning the same things over and over again, hoping that you hit the spot of dirt you can't even see. Part of me likes it, but another part of me just finds it really slow. I feel like a lot of that is because it's also built around playing with other people, and I'm just playing it on my own. So maybe if I had other people to play with, it wouldn't be as bad, but I just don't care. Like, as far as I'm concerned, that just isn't an excuse. I just don't like it when games are designed like that. If you tell me a game is single player or multiplayer, I expect it to be fun in both. And seeing as playing games with more people tends to just make it more fun, then it should be intentionally fun for single player, and then just additionally fun with multiple people. But so frequently what happens is they will design a game, say it is playable in single player, but it's more balanced around multiplayer, which makes it an unbearably slow experience when you're on your own. And like, I'm not sure if this is what's happening here, but it kind of feels like it. Like, it would literally be halved the amount of time if you were with two people, wouldn't it? I really wish I was doing this next week, because next week, most of the people in my house are away, and this recording is taking me ages because people keep standing outside my room screaming, even though it's 10 o'clock at night. Anyway, the majority of what I've been playing this month, though, is Death Stranding 2, and I know people who have, like, finished it, and I have absolutely no idea how. Because I'm, like, over 50 hours into the game, and I'm not even halfway yet. Like, granted, I've been going through and, like, 5-starring everyone, because I want to have everything unlocked. I know other people don't do that. It's really good. Like, it's just as good as the first one. I mean, it's probably better, but I really like the first one, so I don't know. It's been a while since I played the first one, so part of me is like, oh, I really like the first one, and that's true, but would I like the first one as much in comparison to playing this now? I'm never going to go back and find out, but I do really like this one. It's really good. I don't know, there's not really much I could say about it, because I don't want to spoil any of the story stuff, and the rest of it is delivering packages, and I like that. It's just fun. I used to play Elite all the time because I could deliver packages. I recently finished building the roads basically all the way from the west to the east, so that took me a while, but made the jobs a lot easier. And I spend the vast majority of my time driving, and I'm not really sure how other people play the game. I feel like most people don't drive as much as me, or at least, like, the game feels like it's not designed around you driving everywhere, but I also don't understand why you would ever not drive everywhere. I don't know, I'm just enjoying driving around. The spiders really freaked me out the first time, I'll say that. There are chiral spiders, and there's also a bit where if you drive through a group of them, they can jump on the screen, and it was really uncomfortable when that happened to me. The chiral mice, though, they're cute, and the gold ones, I like those. I keep getting really upset because I'll keep hitting animals with my car. It's only happened twice. The first time was a complete accident. I was driving up a hill, and I didn't see it, and I hit it, and I got really upset. The second time, I'm actually really annoyed about, because the car was on auto drive, which is an unlock you can get, and I was going down a road, and then an animal crossed the road, so I wasn't even in control of the car when it happened, and I'm just really upset about that, because, like, not only am I upset because I killed this animal, I didn't even do anything. Not even, like, I made a mistake, it just happened, and, like, now I've just got to deal with that forever. I'm running late now, but my plan is to finish this recording and then go play more. I'm going to finish it, and it's going to take me probably another 50 hours, but I'm happy with that. For the channels, a new LP is about to start to replace Yakuza 5, which finished earlier this month. Turns out that I was wrong about when the patch is going to come out, so I think we're only going to get about a week's worth of new LP episodes before we take a break for a week for the patch, and then it'll come back again after that, which is a little bit annoying. It'll be okay. I've not properly started playing it yet. First episode will be next week as a half hour like normal, and then it'll start after that. It'll be pretty obvious why it is. It does require me to emulate it, which I'm not always the biggest fan of, just in general, just in case you run into issues. Like when I did my Dead Souls LP, I emulated that, and there was a lot of issues with how it ran. So hopefully this is okay, although it's actually even more awkward because it's a Japanese game that has an English patch. So there's some things that just don't work, and there's some things that are not translated yet. So I'm a bit worried about that. It should be alright. I think a lot of the things that don't work about it were things I wouldn't have done anyway, so I don't care. For my other LP, with Dungeons of Hinterberg, it turns out that that's actually going to go on longer than I thought. I thought there was a 25-day time limit to the game, and it turns out there isn't. There is no time limit to the game. There's 25 dungeons, and I thought that the character was there for 25 days and you had to do all of the dungeons in 25 days. And I thought all of the side stuff about like making friends with people was like New Game Plus content, like you'd come back and choose what to do. Turns out I was just wrong. I think it just isn't explained very well in the game. Like there is literally a line in the game where someone asks how long you're there for, and the reply the character gives is, I'm here for all 25. And I've looked this up because I was confused about it, and it turns out other people agree with me. A lot of people have interpreted that to mean they're there for 25 days, and it actually means they are there until they have finished 25 dungeons, which means you can actually stay as long as you want. So I've currently finished 21 dungeons, and I've just finished recording episode 23, so if I were to just do the next 4 dungeons, that would still be another 4 episodes, which would actually take us all the way into September. But I want to, now that I know I can, I'm going to do all of the friendships as well. So it's going to go on possibly even all the way till October now. I'm a bit annoyed because if I'd realised this earlier, I would have spaced it better. But it does mean we're going to have at least 1 or 2, if not even 3 weeks of just doing friendship stuff, which is a little bit annoying, but it'll be okay. There is one thing that actually does bother me about it, where one of the relationships is with a group of monster people, and you level up that relationship by giving them monster parts, but the sheer amount of monster parts you have to give them is kind of insane. Like, you're giving them hundreds a time. Every rank is multiple hundreds of parts. I think the rank I'm about to do is like 400 parts, and it's not cumulative, it's additive. Each time is this much. So I might end up having to do some videos where I just go and collect monster parts every day for a couple of days just to finish them off. It's such a high amount, it's kind of ridiculous. I think it is literally impossible to do it without grinding. So yeah, so that LP will actually be going on a lot longer than I expected it to, which I'm not exactly bothered about because I actually really like the game, but it does mean I'm going to get fewer LPs done this year than I was expecting, although that is actually already my 8th or 9th that I'll have done, so I've already done quite a few. I've been having a lot of troubles with my TikTok recently, so if you're expecting to see a video on my TikTok and it's not there, just go over to YouTube, because it will be there. As soon as I find out it's not on TikTok, I will post it again on TikTok. What keeps happening is, I will post a video on TikTok, and on my phone, it will say it's been posted with 0 views. And it's not until I go and check on desktop that it will tell me it's actually been taken down for a community guidelines violation. And then when I check the place where you do the uploads, it will tell me that it's actually just held in review. But this keeps happening to me, and when that happens, it just stays there forever. So you just have to delete it and post it again. And this has happened to me 4 or 5 times in the last few weeks now. So it seems like it's just going to keep getting worse. I'm also getting like barely any views there compared to how many I used to, but that's kind of whatever, it just does that sometimes. But I don't know why it started like eating my videos. So if ever you go on my TikTok expecting a video and there's not one there, go and check my YouTube instead, or my Instagram, because they always go up. Although actually Instagram sometimes just doesn't post. Like it doesn't even do the same thing that TikTok does, it just does nothing. But unless I have messed up, there will always be the videos on YouTube. I don't think I'm planning any changes or anything, so I think other than that, everything's just going to stay the same as normal. But yeah, new LP starting, other LP is going to go on for a lot longer than I expected, and if you're expecting a video on TikTok and it's not there, go check YouTube instead. Special thanks to all of my patrons. You can join them over at patreon.com/Holden Gatsby, and for $1 a month you'll get to see what I'm working on early, wallpapers for my LPs, exclusive roles in my Discord, and any other rewards I might think of. You can also just follow me there if you want to for free, as it's probably the best place to see all of my content as soon as it's available. There's links to the Patreon, along with my Discord, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Twitch, and all the other podcast platforms in the description for this episode. Finally, don't forget you can email me using podencastby@gmail.com if you've got anything you want to say. Thanks for sticking around. Bye. Special thanks to my patrons, Justin Wood, Hobbs, and Koopy Vegeta. You can join my patrons at patreon.com/Holden Gatsby, check out my TikTok and Twitter @Holden Gatsby, and follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Holden Gatsby. Don't forget to subscribe to all of my channels. If you want more, you can watch my last video now, but if not, then thanks for sticking around. Bye.